Hello, everyone. I am Tatsuaki Kawai, President and CEO of Brass Corporation. Thank you very much for watching the Brass IR channel. I would now like to explain our consolidated financial results for the third quarter of the fiscal year ending July 2025. Net sales were 10,012 million yen, representing 104.5% year-on-year. Ordinary profit was 597 million yen, representing 123.1% year-on-year. Quarterly net profit attributable to owners of the parent was 409 million yen, representing 143.9% year-on-year. We achieved growth in both the top and bottom lines, driven by an increase in weddings performed and effective cost management. Next, I will explain the trends in our key indicators. The number of weddings held was 2,390, representing 104.8% year-on-year. The number of bookings was 2,599, representing 111.4% year-on-year. Average spending per wedding was 3,981,000 yen, representing 98.8% year-on-year. Next, I will provide additional details on each item. As for the number of weddings held, strong bookings from the second half of the previous fiscal year contributed to sales. This was an increase of 109 weddings year-on-year. Bookings received have continued at a record pace, increasing by 267 year-on-year to 2,599. Regarding the average spending per wedding, the number of guests has remained generally flat. However, we have continued to maintain a high spending level per wedding. The consolidated balance sheet is shown here. Next, I will move on to our topics. In April, we announced a new venue in Saitama City, and in May, we also announced a new venue in Kashiwa City. Starting in 2025, we have decided to open one new venue in the Kanto region each year. These are projects we have been preparing for quite some time. I'm really happy to be able to announce them at this time. Our company will mark the 10th anniversary of its listing on March 9th, 2026. We are sincerely grateful for the support of our shareholders and all other stakeholders, which has made this possible. To express our appreciation to our shareholders for their continued support, we have decided to introduce a special shareholder benefit program. Accordingly, for shareholders of record at the end of January 2026 and the end of July 2026, we will double the content of this fiscal year's shareholder benefit program. Please refer to the disclosure materials regarding this special shareholder benefit for details. We will now move on to the Q&A session and answer questions submitted by viewers. Here is the first question. We have announced successive openings in Tokyo, Chiba, and Saitama as part of our Kanto expansion. What are the expected advantages and challenges of expanding in the Kanto region? As for the advantages, the Kanto region has a very large population. In other words, there are many couples there who are getting married. We entered Funabashi City in Chiba Prefecture more than 5 years ago. Funabashi is somewhat on the outskirts of the Kanto region, but we have already built up a 5-year track record there. We have seen firsthand the size of the Kanto market, its large population. and the high number of customer visits, and the data also supports this. Based on that, if we open venues in cities of this scale, we are confident that, given our capabilities, we can make them successful. That is why we are confident in the success of all three venues, Omiya, Kashiwa, and Brass Blue Tokyo, which is scheduled to open in front of Majiro Station within Tokyo's 23 wards in September. As for the disadvantages, this is not unique to Kanto, but rather the sharp rise in construction costs. Compared with the period before COVID, as I am sure many of you have seen in the newspapers, construction costs have risen by about 1.5 times. However, if we simply accept that increase, our business model will not work. So the key question is whether we can keep construction costs under control while still creating dedicated wedding venues in the way we always have. That, too, will be a key factor for success. We fully recognize that high construction costs are a disadvantage, but we will continue to create the finest standalone, exclusive-use house wedding venues, just as we always have. Here is the second question. This question is about the reasons for strong bookings. Although the industry environment does not appear to be improving overall, what is driving Brass's strong bookings under these conditions? The key issue is what brings customers to our venues. It is certainly true that the overall market is being affected by the declining birth rate and that, since COVID, fewer couples are choosing to hold a wedding and reception even after filing their marriage registration. That is an undeniable fact. However, even if the overall market is shrinking, a certain number of couples still choose to hold weddings. We just need those couples to come to us, that's all. We have been working on this continuously through our own unique approach, namely how to encourage them to visit our venues. Well, as I always say, we host great weddings and then build on that for the next one. We create fans of Brass and attract new customers through word of mouth. We've been very thorough about this lately. Please refer us. We have so many customers. For example, as one of our unique events, we invite customers who had their weddings with us to a summer festival every year. Last year, 8,000 couples and more than 20,000 guests attended. We ask these 8,000 couples, who are our fans, to refer others to us. We do not offer expensive gifts or similar incentives in return for those referrals. But instead, we ask them to introduce people around them by telling them that we will deliver a wonderful wedding just like theirs. We are now promoting this approach more thoroughly than ever, and the results are gradually appearing in the form of more venue visits and more bookings. This is our unique strategy, and going forward, I would not say that losing this strategy would mean the end of us, but it would mean losing what makes us distinctive. We deliver great weddings and use them to create the next opportunity. This is the core of our strategy, something no other company has. We will continue to strengthen this approach, increasing the number of customers who visit our venues through this strategy and, in turn, increasing bookings. This is the only way for us to thrive. Here is the third question. This question concerns average sales per wedding. While the number of weddings held and bookings received is increasing, average sales per wedding has declined, which is a concern. At a time when the prices of many items are rising, a decline in unit spending may be viewed negatively. What factors are behind this? I do not think it has declined that much. It is true that it has fallen slightly, but if you look at the industry as a whole, the number of attendees, or guests, has dropped significantly. In our case, however, the decline has not been that large. The unit price of estimates, this is for all companies, is rising due to inflation. We are making appropriate pricing decisions. and have raised prices slightly. Average sales per wedding declined only slightly this fiscal year, but for next fiscal year, we expect it to recover somewhat, returning to the previous level or possibly rising above it. Given the current inflationary environment, we believe that some price increases are necessary in the wedding industry. And we intend to implement them as well. That concludes the Q&A session. Thank you for watching this financial results video. We look forward to your continued support. We are accepting questions regarding this video and these results, so please feel free to contact us here. Also, please send any questions you'd like us to answer in a video to this address. Well then, we'll see you at the next financial results.